How do you feel about the demand for your voice on these projects? What types of things are you trying to get into right now? Are you at liberty to discuss them? See, I see what you're doing. I didn't mean it like that. Hello and welcome to the Mic'd Up Podcast. My name is Kaya. I am an author, a poet, an entrepreneur, and a podcast host. And today I am welcoming back to the Mic'd Up Podcast one of everybody's favorites right now in the romance audiobook streets, Mr. Midnite Michael. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Kaya. How you doing? And just
I'm
so everybody
doing good.
knows, that means right now, that means I got to keep working, right?
Yes.
I'm everybody's favorite right now.
You're
I got to keep
everybody's
working.
favorites right now.
No, I'm playing.
But no, see, I see what you're doing. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that, but you're everybody's favorite right now. And let me tell you why I say that before I get into my questions. I'm saying that because every time I turn around, I see your name on a narrated by, performed by, voiced by. I see your name everywhere, like everywhere. And I knew that was going to happen. I did. I knew that was going to happen. Now, don't give me a hard time like you did, like you did last time. Don't give me a hard time, but I did. I knew that was going to happen for you. So for those who may be new to the podcast and new to you as a voice actor, narrator, can you give us a summary of how you got into voice acting?
I sure can.
Mhm.
And without going into too much detail,
Mhm.
with certain people, I'm gonna leave certain names out of this. But in any event, I started voice acting in roughly 2018, 2019.
Mhm.
And at around that time, I met my now wife, and we spoke on the phone a lot. And she, gave me the, put the bug in my ear of, hey man, you should be an audiobook narrator. You have a great voice. That's what your voice is meant for. And I was like, nah. Basically at the time, because I was trying to do other things, obviously, the more, I guess, more glamorous things, we'll call it, right? Just based on people's perception, right? The commercials, the cartoons, and anime, that kind of stuff. I was trying to get into, the movie trailers, that kind of stuff, which I'm, still, trying to get into, even more heavily. But in any event, audiobook narration and books in general were the last thing on my agenda. But and I fought it. I guess I fought it as long as I could, because I was presented with opportunities in the 2019, 2020 timeframe, but it wasn't until 2021 that I got my first book. It was The Harlem Plug, about, again, one of my favorite things in the world is a drug dealer, right? And so it was a biography of a guy by the name of Fritz Simmons, I believe. And he, again, great book, well written by Harlem Holiday. And it showed me that, if I could do that, I could do anything in this voice acting and audiobook narration game. And so in 2021, I got a couple more books, but in 2022, things started picking up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But in 2023 is when, the Black romance and urban fiction world called me home, man. And so that's when I started really picking up in more books than I could have imagined, right? When I first started. So yeah, that's kind of how it came about. Again, I was reluctant, and then I was kind of like curious, and then I got one and I loved it, and then it just started building from there. And I couldn't control it. I can't control it. I just do what I do, and I really enjoy it. And I tell people, this form of speaking, if you will, out loud gives me the chance to be myself for the longest amount of time. So I really love that about that's what I really love the most about being an audiobook narrator.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Now, you said that your wife, your lovely wife, tell her I said hi, by the way,
Will do.
that she suggested that you should do audiobooks. So does she listen to a lot of romance
Absolutely.
audiobooks?
Absolutely.
Does she listen to your work?
So it's I don't know, it's kind of a funny story, I guess, because she claims that I told her not to listen to me. All right. I don't think I ever said that. So here you go. she's just getting into listening to me, I guess.
Oh.
And so it's been a fun kind of thing, right? Because sometimes like she'll just put up a sample of me, like the sample they put out or whatever when they release the book,
right?
And it'll be me because when I edit or whatever, that's the only time I really listen to it. I don't go back and and when I'm editing, I'm paying attention for like mistakes and that kind of thing. So it's really not a listening for leisure type thing. It's a listening for quality. And so I'm not really enjoying it or ingesting it to enjoy it. It's ingesting it to just make sure it's good. And so I don't listen with that ear. But when she plays that stuff and I listen to it, I'm like, wow, that's crazy, right? I'm pretty good at this, right? But then she was like, I told you. Like she always do that every time I get shocked by it. She was like, I told you. You should have, just like you said, you told me or you knew. Like she knew too, for real. And so I shout her out all the time for that because she knew like before I even. Like I said, I even gave it a thought. She saw what could happen, if you will, and we're thankful that we heeded her advice.
Yeah, it has been working out fantastically well for you.
It's been great.
So let me go back to last year's podcast. One of the questions I asked you was, where do you see yourself in this space within the next year? And it's been a little over a year. One of the things you said is that you are possibly looking to retire from your corporate job. If you could get if you get like 4 books a month consistently, that's what you would be thinking about doing. Is that something that's still on your radar?
We're getting closer and closer to that for sure. Again, it's still like, I work from home in my 9 to 5. So it's kind of like, that's been a blessing, a huge blessing, because a lot of people can't say that they've been able to build 2 careers in a parallel fashion, the way that I've been blessed to do. And so it's been great. And at the same time, I think there's more opportunity, more room for growth as a voiceover artist, audiobook narrator, entrepreneur, et cetera, et cetera. And again, there are things that I have a lot of, bandwidth to explore different things in the current state. But I think, not being tied down, if you will. I shouldn't say tied down. That's such a bad
I know you kind of like not being pigeonholed.
Or just doing that anymore. I would say like doing that anymore and just really focusing on, this space and building this space. And my wife and I have talked about it extensively of how to do that. That's something that we're still trying to build and kind of come up with that, the exit strategy, if you will. Come up with that, and something that makes sense for everybody involved. Because again, we got daughters. I got my wife, and I there are a lot of people I take care of. So it's like it has to make sense. The stepping away from that has to make sense at the time that I do it.
That makes sense. So it's still very much on your radar. So I'm quite certain you'll be able to do that. I'm quite certain. Let me see. Now, how do you feel about the demand for your voice on these projects? Because I feel like it has exploded. That's just the way I feel. Like, how do you feel about that?
I'm humbled. And that's not a word I say a lot or an attitude. I kind of, that's not, when you think of me, that dude ain't humble. You know what I'm saying? But, in this space, in this time, in this world, right? And it's very humbling to be embraced this way in something I never even thought I'd be doing, right? First and foremost. And just kind of be, I guess set apart, if you will, in a way, but by everyone. Like it's something I didn't even think about, because I think the last time I was on here, I was talking about, I was talking to Lacey Laurel, and she was telling me like, they're talking about her and Miss Ronnie were telling they communicated with me at that time, like, they're talking about you right now in the group chat, in the Facebook group or whatever,
I was seeing it. There's your name is a lot of places on, because I am in a lot of book groups, audiobook groups, Black romance groups on Facebook. And, they just be putting it out there. Oh, Midnite Michael, this book, this chapter, or like they do it all the time. And your name comes up a lot. It really does. So the audiobook girlies are loving it for sure.
That's dope to me, right? Because again, I never, again, like I said last time, I started in this wanting to be the best, right? And again, I still don't know what that means, right? I'm just working every day to be something better than I was, a better version of myself than I was the day before, the hour before, right? And so that's up until, I guess, that conversation with Lacey, I hadn't even thought about the other side of the game. You know, the listener, the reader, even the author sometimes, right? It was like going in the booth and go to work, my dog. You know what I'm saying? Just go to work and go get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's the attitude you got to have, right? Because in the end, what got me through, right? In the beginning, I should say what got me through was like putting on the blinders, covering my ears to the comments and, you know, opinions of how it should be done, what's the right way to go about voice acting or whatever the case may be. I tuned that all out because I told people, like, if I'm going to lose, which is what we do, right, in terms of auditioning and just kind of, you know, putting ourselves out there, we're gonna fail, right? If I'm going to do that, I'm going to do it my way. And I made that decision early enough to be in a position now where I still feel like that. I'm going to do it my way, regardless of what the opinions are. I appreciate them good and bad, right? The critique is going to be that, but it can't affect, you know what I'm saying, the passion, right? And the energy I put into what I do every day.
So how do you feel you've grown as a voice actor over the last year or so? Because I would assume that you feel like your maybe technical skills have gotten better or something like that. How do you feel you have grown?
Yeah, I think I've grown in several capacities to that point. Technically speaking, the workflow has improved a great deal. How I record, how I edit, even how I listen to it now. Because again, like I said before, I was just listening for, quality, not for, enjoyment. Right now, right. I take it. I choose a random chapter and give it like a 7 to 8 minute read. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. You know what I mean? And then that's for me, really. You see what I'm saying? Just to appreciate the work, right? And on the other side of that, more confidence too, right? In just the various things that I have, the voice, the decision making, right? Too. That's another big thing because we're given so much, poetic license, if you will, to create characters and create scenes and create worlds, right? I think I'm becoming more confident in how I do that. Because when I first started, it was just a lot of solo work, right? Now that I'm doing more dual narrations, that's very important, right? How you shape and craft what you're doing in partnership, if you will, with your co-narrator is very important. So I think I'm becoming more confident in doing that. At first, I was kind of intimidated. Like, there's another person, reading along with me. I was like, man, whew, I don't know if I can stand up to them. You know what I'm saying? Especially with some of the names that were on the other side of that,
right.
The ticket with me, like, Wesley, right? You know what I'm saying? And Tree and, all these, Alex. I'm like, man, wow, these are heavy hitters, right? And who've been doing it for a while. And I'm trying to get my footing. And so now I feel like I've, earned the respect of a lot of my narrators. Like meeting them at places like BRBF and Andy Love, right? And just seeing and rubbing shoulders with them. And just kind of, I feel like there's a certain level of respect that we all have for each other that I now feel every time I get in the booth.
Okay. Speaking of BRBF, I was going to, that was actually my next question about you deciding to do in-person events, because we discussed on the last podcast how some narrators like to remain anonymous. They don't really want to show their face. They use an alias. They just want to do their work and live their life. Why did you decide to start going to in-person events, and how has that experience been for you?
I came in here with and again, to each his own, right? And everybody has their own thing, right? I came into this like just doing the work, right? There was no like idea of like I'm gonna be this over here and that over there. There was a little part of me that was like I'm gonna be Jeremy over here and Midnite over here. But much like, this entire, I guess my entire life, I guess, when I try to do stuff like that, it just makes sense to bring everything together. It makes sense to bring the visuals, the voice, and all of it. Because again, in 2020, I was really, really focused on music too, like putting out music and that kind of thing. And I was trying to keep everything separate, right? And I didn't really get traction on anything, right? Voice acting, music, my own personal stuff, until I put it all together, right? And people got to see how everything kind of tied together, if you will. Me being a dad, me being now a husband, ties into being a voice actor and how we have to balance that out, and being a father, going to various things for my daughters and doing various things with and for my daughters, that kind of thing. It all makes sense to put it all together. So I came into it not even thinking about not doing in-person stuff, because I was going to always show my face regardless, and just let the work speak for itself. So when I go to stuff like that, I don't. It makes logical sense to me to let it flow that way, right?
Right.
To meet people, and in my opinion, I work too hard to hide. You know what I'm saying? My face.
Right.
I think we do too much to, stay behind a curtain, so to speak. And again, to each his own. But that's just how I feel about it. I'm gonna always let people know who I am.
Right. How was the reception for you? Well, number one, was that the first time in the BRBF? Was that the first time you did an event? And second, how was that reception for you?
First time doing an event, and it was the wildest thing.
It was fantastic.
It was the wildest thing because I walked in and immediately, I said something, and 6 or 7 women turned around. Like, my wife and I were walking to registration, and like 6 or 7, I was like, I think we go this way, right? And I saw like heads turning, right? And nobody approached. It was like, they were trying to fix that, that kind of thing, right? And so we get to the table, and I'm focused on registering, and like,
right.
I forget her name. The lady was there, but she was like, "Oh wow, can you say my name again?" Or it started going into that thing, right? And my wife was just laughing. She was like, "Man, you don't even get it right now," because I was just trying to get registered, because I'm in that mode, right? And then we get past that, and the next thing I'm doing is I'm looking for Miles. I'm looking for Jair. I think she said she was going to be there. I'm looking for anybody I know by name that I'm just trying to meet in person, because it was like, we're kind of like cordoned off from the world, because we're in the booth working a lot. You know what I'm saying? So, first of all, being in front of that many people, being around that many, it was crazy. And then like kind of being one of the centers of attention.
Right.
I wasn't ready for it. And but it took me that first night, I guess, to get warmed up to the idea that I'm gonna have to really enjoy this and appreciate everybody for what they're bringing.
Right. I felt like that. I have been to events before, but that was the biggest one that I had been to. And I tell you, there was just such an outpouring of love and support, and seeing all those people who came there just to see us, you know what I mean? To support us. It was such a fantastic experience. And you and I, ironically, ended up staying at the same hotel. So it was just like, when I had to go and then go to the event and then go back to my room for whatever reason, I still felt that energy like buzzing on me. Like, I just couldn't shake it. It was like overwhelming in the best way. It was probably one of the best events I've been to. So I know they're still announcing who's going to be there next year. So I'll just say, I hope that I am going, and I'm sure if you're invited or whatever, I'm sure you're going to go again. It was a fantastic experience. And I will say this, because you touched on it. It was nice to actually meet you in person, you and your wife, and your energy is so calm. I didn't have an expectation that it would not be, but your energy and your presence was so calm. And I was like, oh, that's very pleasant. It was all good vibes. It was all good feelings. It was all support. Like, everybody there, I felt like understood the assignment. You know what I mean? Everybody was there to support, uplift. And, it was great. It was great.
It was a lot of great takeaways from that experience. And like I said, it was my first time. I really had nothing else to compare it to. I just thought it was the wildest thing ever. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you, I've been to enough to know that they are not normally like that extensive. Like, and then you went to Indie Love.
Big love to Indie Love. Shout out to Josh. I was giving her a hard time the entire time. Not from a diva standpoint, but she know what she did, and she know what she said to me. No, I'm playing. No, we had a little running joke. I did Love Belvin's. We did a chat for one of her books prior to Indie Love, and something happened during that chat that that carried out. I carried to the weekend, and I was messing with Joss about it the whole time. But no, it was great. I love that too. It was I think equally exciting again because I got to kick it with Miles. And again, I think the thing that for that one was the narrators got to sit together like the entire time for like 3-4 hours, and we're just building like the entire time. Myself, Alex, Miles, and Wesley. And so it was dope not to see like CCJ, see meet Love Belvin in person, just Danielle Allen, just a lot of people, Casey Mills, a lot of people that I have worked with or would desire to work with, just extra regular, like, hey Midnite, how you doing?
Right.
Like, yeah, how are you doing, Star? Right, you know what I mean? In my mind, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was like I said, I took a lot away from that as well.
Yeah, I think that, like you said, doing these events makes sense for what you're doing, and it really does. I do feel like it brings everything that you're doing full circle. So I'm sure you're going to continue to do these events, and we'll probably cross paths again. Yeah. You mentioned earlier that you wanted to expand into different things as far as voice acting. What types of things are you trying to get into right now? Are you at liberty to discuss them, or?
Yeah, no, I mean, I just more slightly more commercial work maybe, but really my pursuit at this point is to get into movie trailers. And just try to really kind of get my footing in that lane. I think much like audiobook narration, movie trailers is kind of one of those areas that I think I fit the best in.
Yeah.
And so I'm still working in various angles trying to get in it. It's a very exclusive club, if you will, especially for like somebody who has no resume, right, in terms of doing that. So, but again, God is good, and 6 years in, I didn't think I'd be doing this, right, doing podcasts about audiobooks, right, and being kind of one of the people that people think about when they think about audiobook narration in this lane. So, who knows what's going to happen? But I'm just going to keep working like I've always done and see what happens.
Yep. I love that attitude. I really do, because not only does it I like that attitude because you're focused. You have like blinders. Like you're putting your head down, you're doing the work, and everything that you're working for is coming to you. And I think that's one of the best ways to be when you have when you have goals that you're trying to accomplish. Because if you look to the side at what's going on here, look to the side what that person's doing there, or you know what I mean? If you're not looking right in front of you, you could lose track of what you're trying to do. You know what I mean? So I think the fact that you're very focused on your work, you're very humble, you're just you just want to work and make things happen. I think that's a great thing, and because of that, I do believe that you'll get to all the goals that you have for yourself. I do believe that.
Thank you.
And you have a really good attitude about it as well.
Thank you. And it takes everything you just said. It takes that. You have to shut it. You should shut, as they say. I mean, I know it's cliche now, but you have to shut out the noise.
Yeah.
Because the noise that matters is what you believe, right? Even my wife is my biggest. She believed in this before I did, right? But at some point, I had to believe, right? I had to believe more than anybody else, right? That crazy faith, what do they call it? Anyway, but just that crazy faith, right? That that kind of thing, right? You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, just keep going that way. For anybody out there, who's watching, it's gonna be. If it wasn't hard, everybody would be doing it. Number one, and number two, it's got to be hard for you to appreciate it. What the rewards are, right? So just keep going, right? It's gonna get better. It's not gonna get easier. It's just gonna get better though, for sure.
I like that. It's not gonna get easier, but it's gonna get better. I like that. I like that a lot. My last question I have for you before we get into the last part of the podcast, I'm gonna ask you again, where, if anywhere, do you see yourself in the next year? And I know that's probably hard for you to answer because like you're saying, you're just going to do the work and when stuff comes to you, you'll embrace it. But ideally, where would you like to be in the next year?
And so I've kind of grown a little bit in that capacity, right? Because it's easy to just say, yeah, just trust the work, trust the process, and that's great, right? But at this stage, I have to be more of a strategist, right? More of
Hmm.
an entrepreneur, more of a mapping things out, right, and being intentional about where I want to be as opposed to just working and seeing where I end up, right? So in that vein, there are more things that I want to do in terms of building other voice actors and narrators, right? So creating, different courses and outlets for people to train and get better and kind of just building up, especially from a, black male narrator standpoint in this
Right.
space. We don't have a lot of those guys that, we do have a lot, but, that's when compared to the women and the females that who are killing the
Right.
game right now, there's a disparity there that I want to kind of help, grow and improve. So just doing things to help out in that
Mhm.
capacity. Like I said, movie trailers, just kind of mapping that out, right? um, excuse me, how to grow my brand and my imprint in that lane as well. Obviously, black romance and urban fiction continue to work and just build, um,
Mhm.
you know, build with art, build with authors, build with publishers, build with content creators, build with podcasters like yourself, and like I said, just continuing to do the work, right, and honoring the craft each and every day, with the same passion, same zeal, and same zest that I started with in 2019. So
Yeah.
that's what got me here. That's what I'm going to keep
And
on
that's
doing.
what's going to keep you here. That's that's awesome. Now, that was my last question, but just for my own knowledge, like how many projects do you work on at a time?
It's only one at a time.
Oh, no,
I,
I'm
oh,
maybe I'm not, I didn't ask that right. I'm sorry. Um,
so
how
I think
many?
I know what you're asking. Do I read try to read multiple books at one time with that kind of thing?
Yes,
I
do you?
used to
Hmm.
try to do that, and it just
Okay.
I was very unsuccessful at it. It put me behind like schedule a lot. So
Right.
another thing I've gotten better at is planning out and
Time management.
programming my schedule, to make sure that I have the energy, the time, the bandwidth, and to not have to rush through things, to not have to feel pressured by the schedule, right? So I give myself enough time to do one book at a time nowadays. But there are times when I do have to double up. What I'm saying, to spend a couple days just going ham and just trying to get things done. But again, it's the process, and I love it, and I
Yeah,
won't trade it for the world.
I can imagine that you would have to double up. I can only imagine. Um, So that was my last question for you. So if you have noticed, we have two more people joining the podcast. We have narrator extraordinaire Alexis Stewart, and we have Mr. Kerry Height, who I just found out is the biggest Eagles fan that I
Oh,
have met.
lies.
I just found out he's the
My
biggest Eagles
word.
fan I've ever
Mm.
met.
Ugh, wash your mouth out.
All right, so what we're gonna do, in the Mic'd Up podcast, we always do a game, and maybe we'll be able to get to that. But what I wanted to do was have our professional narrators narrate a scene from a book, whose title I will not reveal, but I do have permission from the author to use their work. And the setup for this scene is two people who had a hookup situation that ended, and now the gentleman is trying to get back into the good graces with the woman. And this scene is when he drives her home after a party. Alex, everybody ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yep.
Carter is Midnight Michael, Logan is Alexis, and Keyshawn is Carrie. So whenever y'all ready.
Hmm. Logan, can we talk? I asked.
About what?
About us.
Us?
You know what I mean. I sighed.
No, actually, I don't.
Okay, I said, not in my head. I wanted to apologize for the way things ended between us, how I ended things between us. I should have been up front with you when I decided to pull back. You didn't deserve that.
No apologies needed. It's cool. We both knew what it was from the beginning. It was fun while it lasted, you know. Now it's over. I'm good.
I didn't know she was saying this because she really felt that way, or she was merely masking her feelings. The disappointment in her eyes said the latter. Logan, I want to see you again, I told her. She laughed so loud at my request that I became embarrassed.
Carter, I'm already seeing someone.
Dorian, I inquired.
Yes,
Are you seeing him the same way you were seeing me?
that's none of your business.
I'll take that as a yes, I remarked, feeling my teeth clench.
You take it how you want, Carter. Just stay out of my business. Thank you for the dance and the ride home. You have a good night.
She turned her back to me and opened the front door. I grabbed her by the arms and pulled her back to me, wrapping her in a hug. She felt so good. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you, I whispered. Can I come in so we can talk? I still held her in my embrace.
I don't have anything more to say to you, Carter.
Are you sure? I asked, hoping she would change her mind.
I am.
She tugged herself out of my arms. She tugged herself out of my arms when a man's voice called out from across the street.
Logan.
We both turned to see a man wearing a black hoodie and tan cargo shorts quickly approaching us.
Oh my gosh. First of all, that was awesome. That was awesome. Thank y'all for indulging me in that.
Yeah, I killed it, man. Carrie, Alexis,
Carrie,
y'all-
you a nut.
I thought you was about to get me for real. I was nervous. I was
I'm
nervous
like,
out
oh
here in
my God.
Alabama. I was like, you coming to get me in Alabama?
That is awesome. Thank y'all for doing that. And
No problem.
Sir Michael, I know you have to go in just a minute. But while I have all of you, last time you were on a podcast, Mr. Midnite Michael and Miss Alexis, we did the nice and naughty. And if y'all are up to it, if I can give y'all one phrase to do, are y'all ready to do it?
Yes.
Go.
Okay, so this is how it works, Carrie. So I'm gonna give a regular line, and you're tasked with saying it nice, first nice, then angry, and then naughty. That's how it goes.
Okay.
So we're gonna start ladies first with Alexis.
Right.
And the first one is, do you want me to make you a plate?
Okay. Do you want me to make you a plate?
Mhm.
Wait, it's nice. Then
Nice,
what?
angry, and naughty.
Then okay. You want me to make you a plate? Do you want me to make you a plate? You want me to make you a plate?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Michael, what you got? What you got? Do you want me
same
to
thing,
make you
same line?
Yeah. Do you want me to make you a plate? Nice, angry, and naughty.
Hey, do you want me to make you a plate?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to make you a plate?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, do you want me to make you a plate?
Okay. Okay. Go say that. You said your wife is ordering food. Go say that to her. Say it that way to her.
She get that every day, y'all. She get that
Oh,
every day.
that's what I'm talking about.
She ain't got to pay for it.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, Mr. Carey, do you want me to make you a plate?
All right. Do you want me to make you a plate? Do you want me to make you a plate?
Oh,
You want me to make you a plate?
it was the voice, it was the head lean and everything. Y'all want to do one more?
Yes.
Okay. Take a bite. Let me know if you like it. Alexis.
Take a bite. Let me know if you like it. Take a bite. Let me know if you like it. Take a bite. Let me know if you like it.
Why you doing all that? Wave your dreads around like that.
What'd you say?
You wave your dreads around.
I just move. They move on their own. I'm just saying. Alexis
All right.
got it. Alexis got it. Okay, come on. Wait,
Okay,
take a
let
bite.
me know what you think.
Let me know if you like it.
Oh, if you like it. Hey, take a bite. Let me know if you like it.
Hmm.
Take a bite. Let me know if you like it. Hey, take a bite. Let me know if you like it.
Okay. I see what's happening here. I'm scared, Mr. Carey. I'm scared what you finna do.
You
I'm
better lose it.
scared. All right,
I
take a bite. Let me know if you like it. Let me see what you got.
take a bite. Let me know if you like it. Got it. Take a bite. Let me know if you like it. Take a bite. Let me know if you like it. Take a bite. Let me know how you like
Sir,
it. Huh?
I'm
What
going to
happened?
just add that not only is he doing this, he is going on a
Okay.
5K run right now.
With a hat on. You know what I mean?
He's on a 5K.
Hey,
I'm not
Carrie,
mad
just
at
real
that.
quick, you got a couple fans down here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my wife has some friends, and they won't listen to me, but they love like you, Miles. Out of respect for my wife, they won't listen to me, but they like
I feel that.
she remember with the lunch at BRBF. She
Uh
told one of those. She told one of those friends that she went to lunch with us. That you went to lunch with you or whatever. And that said friend almost had a heart attack. She was like, "Oh my God, you met Carrie? Oh my gosh! Oh my God!" It was wild. I was like,
That's
"All right,
great.
my
Well, tell him
homeboy."
I said what's up.
Yeah. So you got an active fan base here in Alabama.
That's
That's
right. What's up?
awesome.
What's up? Got to get down there.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, y'all. Well, that was the end of the podcast. Thank y'all so much for indulging in the game. Thank you, Mr. Michael, Miss Alexis, Mr. Carey, for joining me today. In
Got it.
closing, Mr. Michael, is there anything you would like to say before we get up out of here?
I want to say thank you, Kai, for what you do because you're an amazing in the space at what you do as an author, as a
Oh,
podcaster, and as a connector. I really appreciate this because again, it really brings light to us, right? You know what I mean? So I really appreciate you for what you do and all the light that you shine on us as narrators, for sure.
oh, thank you. Thank you, Miss Alexis. For anyone who would like to contact you for narration, how can they get in contact with you?
So I'm on ACX under Alexis Stewart,
Mhm.
but I also have a Instagram. It's Alexis Stewart Audiobooks, my Instagram. And while I'm here, first of all, thank you for bringing us all together, Kaya. This is cool. I like doing this. It's really fun.
Oh,
And while I have Midnight Michael and Carrie Height here, I just wanted to put it out there that I would love to do work with you guys. I don't know how you guys feel
Conducting
about it,
business.
but
She's trying to
I would
conduct
love
business.
to do a project with y'all.
That's what's up.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
so to that end, we'll go ahead, Carrie. We'll talk offline, Alexis. 'Cause I'm trying
Yeah.
to do some more.
okay. And
Yeah.
and
Yes.
Mr. Carey, anything you would like to say in closing? We just had your podcast last week.
Hmm. Right.
If you haven't seen the podcast with Carrie Hyde, please go and check that out. But for those who want to get in contact with you, how can they get in contact with you?
You can go on my website, it's carryheight.com, or you can just holler at me on Instagram at carryheight everything. So easy to find.
Okay. And if you want to run a 5K, if you need a 5K running partner,
If you
he's
can keep
your
up,
guy. He's your
they,
guy.
they can keep up.
You're very active. So that's all I have for you guys. I want to
Right.
thank everyone for tuning in, and I will see y'all on the next one.
For sure. Let's get it cracking.